Hi, I'm Jessica. Before I dive into my story, please take a moment to like and subscribe for more tales just as wild and unbelievable as mine. It all began when my Aunt Carol invited me on what she called a special trip to Las Vegas. I was just 16, buzzing with excitement and completely oblivious to her true intentions. Carol had always been the fun aunt, the one who'd whisk you away on adventures and make every moment feel like a scene out of a movie. Naturally, I jumped at the opportunity. "We're going to have the best time, Jessica," Carol said, her eyes sparkling with what I now realized was not just excitement, but desperation. "Just you and me, a girl's trip to remember." As we packed our bags, my parents seemed uneasy. My mom pulled me aside, her voice tinged with concern. "Are you sure about this, honey? Las Vegas isn't exactly a playground." I brushed off her worries with a laugh. "Mom, it's Carol. We're just going to see some shows, shop a little. What could possibly go wrong?" My dad chimed in, trying to mask his apprehension with a smile. "Just keep your phone on, Jessica, and call us every day, okay?" Nodding, I hugged them, filled with naive anticipation. Carol watched this exchange with a tight smile, her mind clearly miles away from parental warnings. The day we left, Carol was more animated than usual. As we drove to the airport, she kept talking about all the fun we'd have, the places she wanted to show me, and the amazing food we eat. I was completely caught up in her enthusiasm, missing the strained undertones in her voice. "First thing we do is hit the strip. You're going to love it, Jessica. The lights, the people, it's another world." Sitting in the passenger seat, I nodded, my thoughts already wandering to the busy streets of Las Vegas. But beneath all the excitement, I couldn't shake the slight anxiety my parents' words had planted in my heart. Little did I know, their instincts were right to worry. That night at our hotel, I noticed Carol was on the phone a lot, whispering in corners and quickly hanging up whenever I approached. Curiosity finally got the better of me, and I asked her about it during dinner. "Who keeps calling? Aunt Carol?" She waved my question away with a nervous laugh. "Oh, just confirming our plans here, making sure everything is perfect for us." Her evasive answer did little to ease the unsettling feeling growing inside me, but I pushed those doubts aside, telling myself it was just jitters about being in a new city. If only I had listened to that inner voice warning me of the storm that was about to break. Walking through the vibrant buzz of Las Vegas, I was riding a high of lights and sounds, completely oblivious to the schemes unfolding behind Carol's enthusiastic facade. Our hotel was opulent, the kind of place where dreams are made, not shattered. But my dream was about to crack wide open. "Let's check out some venues tomorrow, Jessica. It'll be fun," Carol said, her tone too chirpy, her smile a stretch too wide. Nodding along, I felt unease nudge me again. Something was off. Her excitement seemed forced, like she was playing a part. That night, as Carol slipped out to meet an old friend, curiosity got the better of me. I decided to explore our suite a bit. That's when I found it, an envelope casually tucked away in her suitcase. Inside, my hands trembled as they pulled out a marriage certificate and a fake ID with my face, my name. But the wrong age, 18. I stared in disbelief as the room spun and the pieces clicked together. "No, this can't be right," I muttered to myself, heart pounding. Just then, I heard Carol's voice from the balcony, her words slicing through the night air. "Yes, everything's set for Friday. You have my word. Once it's done, we're square." Peeking through the curtains, I saw her pacing, phone to ear, while a shadowy figure below nodded from the darkness. But what if she doesn't agree? Carol's voice cracked with desperation. "Don't worry about Jessica. She won't even know what hit her until it's too late." My breath caught in my throat. I was the payment for what? Panic clawed at me as the reality of her betrayal sank in. I wanted to scream, to run, but I stood frozen, eavesdropping on my own life being bartered away. "You better keep your end of the deal, Carol," the man's voice threatened, "or it won't be just her you have to worry about." The threat was palpable. I had to act. I had to escape, slipping away from the balcony. I grabbed my phone, my fingers trembling as I dialed my parents. "Mom, Dad, you need to listen to me. Please, something's very wrong with this trip," I whispered, every word heavy with fear. As I explained, my mom's voice cut through, sharp and urgent. "Hold on, Jessica. We're calling the police. Don't hang up, stay with me." The minutes dragged on like hours as I poured out everything. The fake ID, the marriage plot, the menacing man below. My parents' voices, once soothing lullabies, were now lifelines pulling me back from the brink. "We're here with you, Jessica. Help is on the way. Just stay safe until they get there." Nodding to their voices, I realized this wasn't just a betrayal. It was a wake-up call. As I awaited rescue, hidden in the shadows of that lavish room, I understood that the bright lights of Las Vegas could blind you to the darker deals done in its alleys and suites. My trust had been gambled away by the one person I never suspected would fold. Now it was my turn to play a smarter game, to survive. The moment I ended the call with my parents, reality hit hard. I was alone in a city that felt like it chewed up secrets and spat them out as scandals. The walls of our lavish hotel room, once symbols of a dream vacation, now felt like the bars of a gilded cage. My heart raced as I scrambled to find a hiding spot. I rushed into the bathroom, my sanctuary, locking the door with shaky hands. "Think, Jessica, think," I murmured, trying to calm my racing thoughts. The sounds of Las Vegas buzzed faintly beyond the walls, oblivious to the nightmare unfolding in my room. Suddenly, a knock jolted me. "Jessica, sweetie, open up. Let's talk about this." Carol's voice, usually warm and inviting, now oozed with a chilling sweetness. "No way, Carol. I know everything. The police are coming," I shouted, my voice more confident than I felt as it echoed off the bathroom tiles. "Jessica, you're misunderstanding things. Let's discuss it like a family," she urged, her voice cracking with fox concern, but the undercurrent of urgency betrayed her true intentions. I clutched my phone like a lifeline, texting my mom to keep her updated. The pounding started, fists against the door, as Carol's pleading turned to angry demands. "Open this door, or I'll break it down." "Stay away from me." My reply was a scream, every ounce of trust in Carol shattered by her deceit. The minutes stretched into an eternity, each second a tick of tension. Then, the distant sound of sirens gave me a sliver of hope. They grew louder, the wail of justice on its approach. The door shook under an onslaught of force as Carol and her accomplices tried to break through. "You're ruining everything, Jessica." Carol's voice was now shrill with panic. "Just hold on, sweetheart. The police are almost there." My dad's voice buzzed through the phone, a beacon in the chaos. Suddenly, the world outside the bathroom exploded into noise and activity, shouts, heavy footsteps, and the clear commands of law enforcement cutting through the frenzy. "Las Vegas police." Everyone step away from the door. The relief that washed over me was palpable. I barely managed to whisper a thank you, sliding down against the door as the locks clicked open from the outside. The sight of the officers was like the sunrise after the longest, darkest night. "We've got you, miss. You're safe now," one of the officers assured me as they handcuffed Carol and her cohorts. Their scheme was foiled, their faces masks of disbelief and defeat. As I stepped out of that bathroom, the hotel suite felt less like a cage and more like a battleground where I claimed victory. But it was a victory that left a bitter taste, the price of trust too high to ever gamble on blindly again. Back home, the familiarity of my room couldn't wash away the shadow that the incident in Las Vegas had cast over my life. My parents and I sat in a living room, a silent understanding passing between us. They were wrapped in their own cloak of guilt, having trusted Carol without question. "You did everything right, Jessica," my mom said, breaking the silence. Her voice trembled, reflecting the mix of relief and remorse that had taken residence in our home. "I know, Mom, but why didn't we see the signs?" My question hung in the air, heavy with the weight of betrayal. "We thought we knew her," my dad added quietly. "We were blinded by family ties. It's on us too, not just you." This admission didn't erase the events, but it started a slow process of healing. Recognizing the need for professional help, I began therapy. Each session delved deeper into the maze of my emotions, untangling the knots of fear and betrayal. In therapy, I learned to voice my feelings, a practice I took beyond the therapist's office. I reached out to local schools, sharing my story to caution others about the dangers lurking behind familiar faces and exciting offers. Remember, trust is something to be earned, not freely given, especially when something feels off. I told a room full of high school students, my voice steady though my hands still betrayed a slight tremor. After one such session, a girl approached me, her eyes holding a familiar confusion and fear. "How did you know something was wrong?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. "The signs were subtle, but they were there. You have to listen to your gut feeling," I explained, hoping to empower her with awareness and the courage to question. These talks became my therapy too, transforming my pain into purpose. But it was during a community forum that the real weight of my experience hit home. A local journalist had come to cover the event, and his questions forced me to face the full extent of Carol's deception. "How do you feel about your aunt now?" he asked, his recorder in hand. Anger and sadness warred within me as I answered, betrayed but stronger. "She taught me that not all dangers come from strangers. Sometimes they're closer to home." His article painted a vivid picture of my ordeal, sparking conversations across the community about trust and vigilance. It wasn't just my battle anymore, it was a communal wake-up call. As I continued speaking out, I felt the shards of my shattered trust slowly forming a new resilient armor. No longer a victim, I was becoming an advocate, a voice for those who hadn't yet found theirs. The pain of the past was forging a path to a more vigilant, empowered future, not just for me, but for anyone who heard my story. 2 years have passed since the harrowing events in Las Vegas, but they've not faded into quiet memories. Instead, they fueled a fierce determination within me. Now, as a recognized advocate against human trafficking, I've channeled my trauma into a crusade for change, fighting tirelessly for laws that protect minors from exploitation. Today, under the bright banners proclaiming Voices for Change, I stand at the center of a bustling community event, a tangible manifestation of my efforts and dreams. Around me, faces familiar and new reflect a spectrum of support and solidarity. "I never imagined we'd be here when this all started," my dad remarks, his voice thick with pride as he surveys the crowd. "We're making a difference. That's what matters," I respond, scanning the crowd for the volunteers handing out educational pamphlets and guiding attendees to various workshops. At the heart of the event, a panel discussion is about to begin. I step up to the podium, the hum of conversations fading as all eyes turn to me. "Thank you, everyone, for being here today." I begin, my voice clear and confident. 2 years ago, I was almost forced into a marriage by someone I trusted. That betrayal turned my world upside down, but it also opened my eyes to the silent cries of others trapped in similar, if not worse, situations. A murmur of acknowledgement ripples through the crowd. I continue, "This isn't just my fight, it's our fight. Today, we stand together not just to share stories, but to shape laws to ensure no minor has to face what I did." The audience's response is a blend of applause and cheers, a collective voice of agreement and encouragement. As the event winds down, the setting sun casts a warm glow over us. The laughter and conversations around me, the community united for a cause, reaffirm my path. This journey, worn from the darkest of trials, now shines as a beacon of hope. It's not just my resilience that's been forged, but a collective resolve, proving that even without legal retribution, the power of community support and advocacy is a profound, transformative justice. As our story comes to a close, I have a question for you all. Do you think family should always be trusted, or is it sometimes necessary to question even those closest to us to protect ourselves? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this story compelling, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more discussions like this. Your support helps us bring more stories and conversations to light.